Hello, welcome back. I'm Unstoppable Tracy, your host of the Today Show, and today I have John Stevens with Talent Inc. Canada. Welcome, John.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here and great to see you.
What a bonus that we get to do this interview, because otherwise we wouldn't be visiting during COVID, and so we've been able to drag you down here with safe sets into the studio.
Well, I really appreciate it, and yeah, it's been great to get together with you on Zoom and through other ways, but it is so great to finally see you in person, and you look wonderful.
Well, you look very handsome. And so the reason I brought John into the world today was because John is my acting coach, and it's really important for an actor to be continuously training and showing diligence. But John is just one of those dynamic souls, and everything he shares oozes with confidence and capability and authenticity, but also how to be influential and how to be the best version of yourself when you're presenting out to the world.
So important.
Yeah, whether it's acting or not.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the things that I think has been really rewarding for me as an acting coach is not only is acting a skill that people need in order to work in the TV and film industry, but just as a way to become a better communicator, and also to find ways for people to be able to be creative and to express themselves in a safe space. And I think that's one of the biggest joys of acting is not, there's all kinds of different success stories. Of course, the big movies and the big TV shows and all those sort of things. Yes, those are wonderful.
Yes.
And everybody strives for that. And of course, that's what we aim for. But at the same time, I feel like when there's that kid who goes to school and before they were having trouble in school, but now because they have more confidence, they have better communication skills.
Yes.
And the skills that they learn working at the script just help support English skills, right?
Yes.
And language skills, no matter what language you're learning acting in, right? So it's just
and
such
memorization skills.
memorization skills,
so
which help
many.
you in other areas of study. So the benefits of learning how to act are, so much more broad than just the industry.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And so why not, instead of doing acting camp or drama camp, dial it up where it's like some real tangible skills forever.
Yes.
Which is phenomenal.
Yes.
And although I loved drama camp, because people in our session, what was interesting is, here I'm this woman, late 40s, and then what was our youngest in our session?
I think our youngest in that particular class, when we were doing Industry 101, it was, I think the youngest person was 12.
Right.
So it's a very broad scope, but I know there's a lot of schools that try to make, there's this adult class and there's younger, but the fact is when you're working on set, adults are working with children.
Yeah.
Children need to learn how to work with adults.
Yes.
They aren't always going to be just surrounded with other people in their exact same age range. So it's a little outside the box,
yes.
But for us, it really works. We like to get people working creatively across all the different generations. Right?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And so I have 1,000 more questions, but the world doesn't know you like I do, and he is very humble. You talk about successful stars. You yourself are a bit of a star. I know about your Peter Pan days way back in New York. So can you just not be humble? Will you share some of the fun people that you've shared the stage with?
Oh, of course. So I'm very lucky. I had a pretty amazing career starting off very early on in my career. My first big job, Broadway musical, was Annie.
Annie.
Of course, and it starred Joanne Worley. I don't know if you guys remember her from Laugh-In and so many other incredible shows. But for me, that was a real big high because I grew up watching Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In and Cher and all, Carol Burnett, all the old, kind of like variety shows.
Yes.
And it seems like that genre just doesn't exist anymore. And so for me, it's like a really special memory.
Yes.
So being able to work with her, for me, was just a highlight.
Oh my God.
And we hit it off right away, and we used to do our warm-ups together in the back of the theater. And so one of my favorite Joanne Worley stories is not only is she a huge pet lover and an advocate for that, along with Betty White. But she's also just a really funny person, and she used to burp the alphabet as part of her warm-up.
Oh, so there you have it, folks.
And so I just, but you know what, that aside, I gotta tell you, she's one of the most consummate professionals I've ever met. She's absolutely incredible to work with, dependable, and the relationship she has with her husband, she would always find a way to say hello to her husband from being on stage and kind of throwing something out to the audience, which was really neat.
Yeah.
After that, I went into, I'm originally from the Seattle area, and so I went into the Fifth Avenue Theater's production of Follies, which was really overseen by Stephen Sondheim and his whole creative team. But it was an entire all-star cast. So we had Maxine Andrews from the Andrews Sisters. We had Denise Darcel. We had so many incredible actors and actresses that were a part of that. And so that was a huge part of my launch. And then I went on to do Camelot and a few other shows at the Fifth Avenue. And then one of my other old stomping grounds was, of course, the Village Theater in Issaquah, where, believe it or not, they actually have done some of the most incredible theater productions in not only just the United States, but really for North America. And so it was there that I did the West Coast premiere of a new version of Babes in Arms, and that stars Cheyenne Jackson, who's a huge Broadway star now. I'm really proud of him. But that was really fun, and had a chance to work with him and a number of other incredible professionals in that show for several months, almost half a year working on that show. So
wow.
Yeah.
And
so,
you can't skip Peter Pan now.
Yes, Peter Pan. I had a really special relationship with Kathy Rigby. In fact, it was my first time making it into the tabloids.
Wow.
So Kathy and I were very close, and we were at a bar in Massachusetts somewhere, and somebody saw me it was after the show, and we went out for a drink, and I didn't know what a body shot was. So Kathy Rigby jumped up on the bar, put the shot in her belly button, and I did a body shot off of Kathy Rigby's stomach. Well, somebody saw that, somebody reported it to TMZ or something along those lines, and it was a big to-do for a while.
But you probably had good ticket sales.
It was great. You know what? And it was a really special production, and I feel very honored to be a part of that. So that was when they dismantled the Broadway production, and they took it on the road, and I actually had the opportunity to replace her son, Buck. So I was his replacement in the show for that particular production, and what a wonderful experience that was at North Shore Music Theater in Massachusetts.
Oh my gosh. And you know what I love about John is that I just learned a ton of things about him right now, right along with all of you, because he's so humble. The only one I knew about was the Peter Pan. I didn't know about the body shot. So John, you know, I've never done a body shot.
All right. After COVID.
After COVID. It's so great. But you're phenomenal because, you know, you ooze bringing everybody into your circle.
Yeah.
Right? And so you've helped maximize me, like you put me into Disney interviews, and I didn't get the part, but I got to interview for it, which was amazing.
Yeah, and the great thing is quite frankly, casting met you at one of our events, and they remembered you, of course. How can you not? And so you were actually called in directly from casting, so you weren't on any kind of network or anything like that. They just remembered you and brought you in. So that's a huge accolade to you and all the work that you're doing.
Well, you got to tell people a little bit about this event.
So, you know, I'm a big person in terms of inclusion. And so for me, I know that growing up, one of the reasons that I actually went into acting is I had some pretty terrible experiences with bullying and abuse and other things as a young person. And I think there's a lot of people that find their way to the arts because of those kinds of experiences.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it ends up being not necessarily something that is seen as a weakness, but it's actually something that we build upon and we work through, and it becomes a part of their story that now they can share. And I think you're a great example of that as well. So we do an event once a year where we bring in all the top casting directors, agents, managers, producers, writers, directors, fight choreographers, voiceover artists, you name it, everyone from the industry. And we put them all in one room, and then what we try to do is professionally introduce those actors that we've been working with. And some of them have representation, some of them don't.
Yeah.
All different levels. We have people who are professional actors who are booking quite a bit who come to our event, and then we have people who are brand new to the industry
At that event.
and coming into the event. So it's really been largely successful, and one of the things that I'm really proud of is everybody is welcome.
Your youngest?
I think that, yeah, our youngest is 4. I think the youngest person to ever go through our event is 3.5, but we start generally at 4. And our oldest client right now is almost in their 80s.
Yes!
So it's a wide range of people, all different skill levels, all different heights, body types. We have people with all kinds of disabilities. LGBTQ+, and we really pride on ourselves for that, and we've created a space that is safe for everyone, and everyone feels welcome.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the things that's missing from so many studios is you walk in and no one talks to one another. There's not that warm, friendly, inviting, let's create together.
Yeah.
It's this, no, you can't. You don't have this, or you don't look like this.
Yes.
Or you work with this person, so I'm not going to work with you. And one of the things that I really pride myself on is making sure that everyone is welcome, everyone is included, we can all work together. And I've always said we're stronger working together than we are working against one another. It's wasted energy.
Yes. And you were kind of Toronto clients everywhere, but it's Toronto in Canada.
Yes. So we have worked. We've had clients from Vancouver, we've had clients from Edmonton, we've had clients from Calgary. Winnipeg is still one of our biggest cities that we work with. And then my partner Doug and I, the big thing that we've been trying to do is really pull in Northern Ontario.
Nice.
Northern Ontario has some wonderful advantages in terms of filming, especially during COVID right now. And so we've been really working actively with the Timmins community, Cochrane, also working in Sudbury and North Bay, and really proud to be working in Sault Ste. Marie as well. And we're hoping to add Halifax and also Thunder Bay to our roster for the next season. So we've had a wonderful response, and a lot of our students up there are doing quite well.
Yes.
And the unfortunate thing that's happening up in Northern Ontario is that there's wonderful productions going up there, but they're hiring Toronto actors. So it's not really doing a whole lot for the actors that are living in the northern area. So we really wanted to give them the same advantage, get them some of the same teachers on their resumes as people in Toronto do, and it's been incredible. So the North has been so welcoming, and it's actually just been a fantastic adventure for us. So learning all about the ins and outs of filming in Northern Ontario.
And what I love about what people may or may not be picking up on what you're saying is the training. And so an actor's resume. So having movie headliners or commercials or stages, like it's just as important in your developing stages, but throughout, that you do have this recognizable training and education and ongoing learning in the acting world.
Yeah, you know what? We had, it's interesting, we had somebody come into the studio a few days ago, and when we told them, you know, here are the steps, here's the training you need, you know, and kind of walked through what it was going to look like, they said no. They realized that they just thought that they could become a star.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because there are a lot of companies, and unfortunately a lot of them are coming from the United States. They're coming to Canada, and so that's kind of what we try to do is not worry so much about you know, getting people the stars in their eyes and that sort of thing, but really focusing on, like, these are the skills you need in order to be successful once you do book that job.
And to be booked again, so
Yes.
that you don't do the faux pas on set that you don't realize about.
Absolutely. Reputation is everything. It doesn't matter what level you're at. So, and it's you know, we've seen it on, you know, social media. Roseanne Barr is a perfect example.
Oh.
You know, it doesn't matter how big you get, you cannot, you know, tarnish your reputation. It's a very finicky industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our time has flown by, and it's time to wrap up a little bit. But
Sure.
before you go, I would love, like, can you share really fast, like 1 or 2 success stories out of your school
Of
and
course.
how they find you?
Yes, of course. So right now, one of our biggest stars is Chase Tang. He's going to be Barian in the upcoming Netflix series Jupiter's Legacy.
Woo!
So that's a huge feather in our cap. We have Richie Lawrence, who's one of our child stars. He's been on Degrassi. He just shot a movie with Richard Dreyfuss called Astronaut, which is a wonderful film that was shot here in Canada.
Yes.
So how crazy is that? At 14 years old, he's able to work with an Academy Award winner like that. So those are a few of our big stars. We've got Maddie Dixon Poirier, who is working in a couple of TV shows in the United States right now. We've got somebody on
Benicio.
School of Rock over in Los Angeles, and she's been there for a long time. We've got a few people on a bunch of different comedy series through Netflix and things of that nature.
Heartland and
Heartland,
Home
yeah.
Alone.
Christian Martin, Home Alone, yeah, the boy from Home Alone. He's now on Moms and a number of other things. He's also really well known for being on Anne with an E. He plays Billy, the bully, which is so crazy because he's the nicest guy in the world. Alexis Whalen, who is in Level 16, another Canadian film,
Amazing.
doing lead roles. And I have to plug, of course, the fact that we are working on a project together.
Yes.
And Unstoppable Tracy is actually going to be the star of a feature film that is being developed. So we are actually in development right now for a project starring Unstoppable Tracy, which is really exciting.
But don't reach out and ask why. We've got non-disclosure agreements, so this is top secret. You're the first to find out.
Exactly.
My family don't even know yet because I was so afraid of the non-disclosure agreement. So this is exciting that we get to tell the world.
Is. But if you want to find out more information about us, you can find us at www.talent-inc.ca. Find us there, and we're also on Instagram and Facebook. But Talent Inc. Canada.
Talent dash, like the subtract sign.
Yes.
Inc.
inc.ca.
Perfect. Oh, I'm so over the moon to share John Stevens, my beloved acting coach, with all of you. And please, for advocacy, for influence, for confidence, for busting your fear, your anxiety, your tension, just to fill your souls, I highly recommend attending these classes during COVID, whether you want to be an actor or not. But if you do want to be an actor, it is crucial. This is a very well-recognized organization in Canada and in North America, so you want to get them on your acting resume.
And you know, I should also mention Julia Romaldi, of course, who just finished shooting a Disney film. We can't say which one yet.
Yes.
But she has Down syndrome, and she's from Timmins. And she is not only an actress, but an activist. And she actually beat you out of a role.
But I just keep remembering I auditioned for Disney.
You got in there, right?
Yes.
So you're on their minds.
On their minds. So John is open and inclusive. Talent Inc. Canada, talentinc.ca. Thank you for joining the Today Show. I am Unstoppable Tracy, your host, with my fabulous guest, John Stevens from Talent Inc. Canada.